Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Brokerpreneur podcast. I am Dr. Ben Spears, the ambassador of flow. I'm here with the big guy as usual, Matt Vi. Our dedicated office muscle.
Yeah, is that what I am?
Yeah. So we don't want no feedback.
That's right. Mic check. 1 2 1 2.
Yeah. These guys are hot and they don't like no feedback.
Yeah.
So Matt, how you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic, Ben. Doing fantastic. I'm excited about today's podcast, about today's topic.
Yeah. Are you still down in weight from COVID?
Oh yeah.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
I'm just like every time I look in the mirror, I'm like, man, I'm looking like really tired but thin.
Right. I'm looking exhausted. Can't smell. Barely taste.
Yeah,
but I'm thin.
Yeah, I was trying some gum over there. I was like, I'm gonna use some gum because nothing.
Nothing.
I can tell it's a little bit cold in my mouth, maybe.
Yeah.
But.
So last night I opened a cabinet and there was marshmallow because my daughter loves s'mores, right?
Yeah.
This woof of marshmallows comes out and hits me, and I could smell the marshmallows, and I was like, man, if you're going to start smelling, that's a great place to start.
Yeah, or the worst ever.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wasn't hungry, but now I think I want to. And these are those jumbo marshmallows.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude. Yeah.
They're actually square, right? They're not completely, but okay. Yeah. All right.
No,
you get it.
My kids are all about that marshmallow life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm right up here. Marshmallows aren't my favorite, but between chocolate and graham crackers.
I don't like how messy they are on a s'more. Oh, but a marshmallow that is toasted on the outside, I could eat a super unhealthy amount of those.
Yeah, so your kids are old. I'm not to that point now where I can even have a thought process on whether or not something's messy. Right. It's like, I can be like, hey, can you hand me a paper towel? And they're like, here it is. And it's already got sidewalk chalk or something all over it.
Right.
Yeah, who knows? Everything
always has ketchup on it.
Everything in my life is messy. So, Matt.
Yeah, Ben.
Happy Thanksgiving, man.
Happy Thanksgiving,
right.
brother.
I don't know if this is coming out right before it, right after it. More than likely right after it, because, it's going to come
Happy
out
birthday.
on Fridays or whatever.
Bird day.
Yeah, exactly. But we're going to talk a little bit about, being thankful for the agents that we have.
That's right.
Because we talk, so much about, getting new agents, getting, some fresh meat in your office so that they can grow and scale and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
But we want to make sure that everybody out there listening in podcast land understands that, yes, you want to grow and scale your business. But on top of that, you want to make sure that everybody that you have feels loved and appreciated and all 100%. That kind of stuff. So,
100%.
Before we talk about that,
guys,
hit that follow button or that subscribe button wherever you're watching or listening to this. If you want to go and just learn a little bit more about what Matt and I do to help everybody grow and scale their business, go to prospectboomerang.com. Check that out. Also, click on podcast at the top. It takes you directly to brokerpreneurpodcast.com and sign up for our weekly recruiting newsletter while you're there. And also grab, I think the download that we have going on right now is 3 ways to scale your recruiting. Also go and grab that as well.
Absolutely. We hope it helps.
Yeah. If it's not there and it's some other guide, send me an email, support at prospectboomerang.com.
Right.
And I'll send you 3 ways to scale your recruiting if it's not there at the time.
Yeah,
so,
we want to help.
Yeah, for sure. So Matt.
Yep.
We're essentially asking everyone, do they appreciate the agents that they have right now? What if they don't?
Yeah. They're in the wrong business.
Amen. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. But so do you appreciate them, and is that a big, huge secret is really the question.
Yeah.
Right? Do you appreciate them deep down in your heart, but nobody can see your heart, right? And you're not putting it out there.
Yeah.
So, okay. So are you making sure that they feel that you appreciate them, right?
Yeah.
And how do you measure whether they know you appreciate them or not? The way that you measure that is by the response and the feedback you get from the engagement that you have with them.
Yeah.
Right. So that when you have little things start to happen that people are showing you that they appreciate you, you know that they feel appreciated. You're the leader. You're the leader of that office. You're the leader of that company. You're the one that should be making sure that they know how to show other people that they appreciate them in the real estate business.
Yep.
And the way that you make sure that they're doing that is by you showing that appreciation to them. Got to be on a regular basis. Has to be on a schedule. So here's the issue that I think a lot of people have.
So you don't just appreciate them once a year around Thanksgiving?
No, you don't just appreciate them once a year.
Yeah, why do you make stuff so hard, Matt?
I know, right? That's me making things complex. So this is the reason why a lot of people don't reach out and do this. Maybe, okay?
Yeah.
Don't reach out and do this way is because it feels inauthentic. We talk about being authentic all the time, right?
Yeah.
If you put a schedule out that you're going to make sure that people know that you appreciate them. Every Thursday, you're going to do it. Every Wednesday, you're going to do it. You're going to spend 20 minutes and you're going to reach out to your staff or the people that you're dealing with, meaning your vendors, your business ecosystem, all of whoever.
Yeah.
You're going to reach out to them and let them know that you appreciate them. If you're doing that on a regular basis, you'll start getting that appreciation back.
Yeah.
You'll start getting people responding back to you. Okay. And we'll talk in the action item about a way that you can do this. And I'll give you a real life story. So you have to make sure that you're on a schedule of doing it. The struggle that a lot of people have is, well, if I set time aside to show people that I appreciate them, if it's not happening just, almost serendipitously, then it's not real. That's incorrect.
Yeah.
Make a plan to be appreciative to the people that matter, your agents, the people that matter in your office, your staff, the people that in your business ecosystem. And I promise you, they're just going to stay more loyal. It's going to expand the life cycle of them being at your office, which expands your revenue cycle. Everyone wins in this situation.
Yeah.
And the way that you measure it is by the responses that you get from it.
Yeah. And, and part of that is, I just don't schedule everything in my life, but there are certain things, that happen, right? Like I don't ever leave my house without giving my wife, a hug and a kiss and being like, I just love you so much. It's not even funny. Mm-hmm. My kids never go to sleep without me like going in there, giving them a hug, giving them a kiss. I play a game at night where I'm like, okay, pick a number between 1 and 100. Whoever's closest gets first hug because they always like fight over it. Uh-huh. And then whoever lost that night, I'll, as I'm giving them a hug, I'm like, tomorrow the number's like 65. Right. So, and they know it. And it's kind of like good fun. So it just alternates. But it's scheduled.
Yep.
My wife and my kids, they know that I absolutely love them like from the bottom of my heart. And they know that kind of stuff's coming every single day, and they know when it's coming. But I don't think that they think less of it.
They don't.
Because of that. And
they appreciate it.
That's exactly right. And
you're making it a priority.
Yep. And one thing that I would tell everybody is, if this is something that you don't do, with your agents, getting back to the real estate side of it, and the vendors and everybody else in your kind of your ecosystem. Whenever you do start doing it or you give it a shot, do it at the beginning of your day.
Yep.
Right? Because not only is it going to just make you feel so good every time that, someone's like, thank you so much. Right? I didn't expect that to happen. Whenever they reciprocate that, like, hey, like I really appreciate, doing business with you too, Matt, that kind of thing.
Yep.
It's going to set you up like on just like,
everybody is just at a different level.
That's exactly right. And so, think about that. Don't make it the end of the day the last thing that you do that you're trying to get over with, because that's gonna come across
right.
In your tone and in your body language or however you're doing that with everybody.
Right.
So make sure that you're scheduling that the right way. But that
agreed.
You make a great point. With because I wasn't really thinking that, right? Like when I was writing the show notes, I was thinking like agents, and possibly recruits or this, your staff, not necessarily, all the support system,
everyone
around you. There's also different ways of doing it.
Yep.
Right, and that's one thing that I want to ask you about is. Every Thursday you don't need to be calling everybody and every single time that they, every single time that you want to appreciate somebody, it has to be a phone call.
Right.
Right. It could be a bunch of different ways. I'm not like the ideas guy. Right. Like you are. And so that's where I'm going to like branch off and ask you, like, what are some different ways that you can show that appreciation? Phone call, handwritten card, like give us a few examples.
Yeah. So let's talk about what you can do, and then let's talk about why you can do it.
Sure.
Okay.
I like it.
So the what you can do are the big four, right?
Okay.
That's phone call, that's email, that's text, and that's handwritten note.
Okay.
That's the big four,
Yep.
right? Absolutely send it out. Absolutely be sincere about it. Okay. I think we have a playbook that talks about how to appropriately write a great card to someone. I think we got a playbook somewhere in our library of all the stuff that we have.
Yeah, we easily could.
Yeah.
If we don't, then let's make one.
Yep.
Hey guys, this podcast is powered by Prospect Boomerang.
We all know broker owners struggle with profitability. Prospect Boomerang compounds your profits by recruiting the best agents to your brokerage.
For consistent growth, visit prospectboomerang.com.
Yeah, and if you're interested in it, just reach out to us and we'll make sure we get it to you. Right.
Yep.
So those are the big four. That's the way that you do it. And I would do it in a rotation, right?
Okay.
If you're a client of ours, you have a prospect tracker. The prospect tracker already sets all that up. Just leverage that way, right?
Yep, for sure.
So, so why would you do it, right? It can't just be at awards time.
Yeah.
Right. That's so important that you can't only show appreciation and gratitude for someone when they're getting the acknowledgement that they've earned money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So look for the little stuff that they do. Are they on social media? Do you see that they're participating in other charitable things? Absolutely acknowledge them for that. Right.
Yeah.
Send a handwritten note or send a text that says, "Hey Ben, I was on Facebook and I saw that you were helping out with a soup kitchen. I just can't tell you, how proud I am that you're associated with my office. That's
Absolutely.
just an incredible thing. All the best. Let me know how I can help." Right. That is what you're going to. That is what you're looking for, is those type of opportunities.
Yeah.
Right. So you're going to look for when they get done doing training. Right. There's different training and designations that they get. You're going to be looking for biggest transactions or a new type of transaction. Right. Let's say they just did a commercial transaction. They've never done one before. Right.
Yep.
You're going to acknowledge that. What about anniversary of when they join your company? Are you sending something out to them on a regular basis with that? When they get their highest price listing they've ever taken, when they sell their biggest transaction, when they've all of these different reasons, you're going to just acknowledge all of those different reasons with them and show them that you appreciate them. So here's the struggle that we have. This is why it goes back to the schedule. Okay. I'm a Post-it guy, right? We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
On the corner of your desk, just have a Post-it that when you see this stuff, you just jot it down. Right?
Yep.
You don't have to stop in the middle of your day right then and do it. You can if you want, but you don't have to stop in the middle of your day right there and do it. Just write it down on a piece of paper. Ben charity Facebook, right? Ben largest sale ever. Ben biggest, first $1 million listing. Ben sold horse farm and donated money to, horse charity, right?
Yeah.
Whatever that is, you write that down on a piece of paper. Thursday rolls around. And that's whenever you go back and you go, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And you pull out that piece of paper and you can knock out 5 or 6 or 7 different things that are just things that are going to matter to them a lot.
Yeah.
A tremendous amount, right?
Absolutely.
So you're just looking for, use the big four of how.
Yep.
Okay. And then the what, it can't just be awards time, right? It has to be those other milestones that they're accomplishing things.
Yeah. And know also, guys, cause like, it's really easy to be like, well, yeah, of course. That, we practice these things as well, right? There are several times, I can't even tell you how many times I've gone out to the mailbox and, there was a card, even though I see Matt every single day, and he's written me a card like, dude, like you killed it, that kind of thing, and really appreciate it, and even that goes a long way, right? Like if it wasn't for those cards, like I'd probably never work with Matt ever.
Right.
But
you and about 1 million other people.
Yeah, but then the same token, anytime like there's like a new Fabio novel.
Right.
Comes
There we
out,
go.
right?
There we go.
Like, I make sure that I get Matt that new romance. the new romance novel. You know, she just loves Fabio romance novels. I'm never gonna not
remember that.
I'm never gonna not remember that. Matt does not like romance novels.
Him and Fazio.
But he's the one that brought up Fabio, so there's got to be something there, right? It's got to be something there. But just know, like, it can be like someone that you see every single day. It can be somebody that you just don't see ever. Right. It's just a lender that just does a lot of business with agents in here or whatever, and you've never even met them. But you want to make sure that you reach out and you say, hey, look, I appreciate you taking care of that. I got a text today from I'll plug one of my friends, the mortgage firm, Patrick Storch. I got a text today because I used to do a lot of business with them, and it was an Eventbrite sign up. And you just go and you sign up, and if you sign up, that lets them know essentially we're gonna have a pumpkin pie at our office. Just come over and it's yours and for Thanksgiving, right? And they're just giving out pumpkin pies to all the people that they appreciate, right? And they do that every single year, and it's so awesome. And I always feel bad I never get the pumpkin pie. I never sign up for it because I just that's I love pumpkin pie. But I'd rather buy them one, essentially. But I always go by there and I say, hey, I just want to come by and say hello regardless. Right? I don't need a pie, that kind of thing. Right. Because I don't ever want them to feel like they have to buy me something to send them business. Right. But there's different things that people do, and it's just it goes so far. Yeah. And what's a pumpkin pie, like $4? Right. $3?
Right. We've got a really good friend that does an agent appreciation event, and literally what they do is they put on like a banquet. They pay for a speaker to come in, and the speaker talks and gives a motivational message, and they do the agent appreciation event one time a year, and every agent and it's a luncheon, and every agent that they did a transaction with the prior year, they invite them. Yeah. Right. And they put on there, I promise this is not recruiting. We're not going to have any conversations about my company. This is strictly about me appreciating you doing business with us. Yeah. And they send that out, and they have a lot of people show up. Yeah. And it's always a great event. Everybody enjoys it. And I think it's just a great way of saying, hey, thanks for being, cool about how the transaction went and all that kind of stuff. Not that anything like this should ever impact whether someone likes showing your listing better than someone else's.
Right. Oh yeah, for sure.
It should never do that. It should absolutely always be about what's best for the customer. But you can't convince me that doesn't make them more excited to see your name pop up.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. I want to touch on one more thing before we close this out and let everybody finish, their Thanksgiving leftovers that they have from yesterday. Right. This doesn't only apply to the agents and vendors and business associates that you're in contact with. Right. Of course, I just mentioned, I make sure that my family knows every day in certain ways that I love them and that I appreciate them. But your agents and your vendors and everybody else in that ecosystem, they have family as well.
They do,
right? And it's important, to acknowledge their support, sacrifice, whatever you want to call it.
Real estate's not an easy business.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, so it's always great to acknowledge the family. So what I would urge is that you do send out holiday cards. Mm-hmm. I think it needs to be the appropriate holiday card. I think you need to know your agents well enough that you're sending something out to them that is appropriate for them and whatever they celebrate. Yeah. Okay. So absolutely that should happen. There was a manager that I knew that I thought this was a really cool thing. Every year they would send a letter out to the family of the agent in their office. Mm-hmm. And the bulk of it was the same, right? We had a great year, we did this much, and we're bigger this year than last year, and this happened and all that kind of stuff. But then they would always put something about that specific person, and they would thank the family by name for the sacrifices that they made to support that agent and being great in what they do. Yeah, that's Needless to say, the attrition at that office was almost nothing. Yeah. Not just because of this letter. Right. But because that's how she looked at everything that she did. right? And she had a ridiculously productive office and ridiculous retention. I mean, like, unlike anybody, she was the top in the nation, I'm sure, bar none. Okay, and this was in probably the 90s, early 2000s, and it was just because that was the mindset of how she connected with them. So the whole year she was looking for things that happened in these families' lives that she could bring up later that were milestones that she could talk about. So what she did is she turned on her RAS, her reticular activating system, so that she was looking for these things. What she noticed was after the first year that she wrote these letters, it became easier and easier to point out the things that were happening that would make great additions to this letter.
Yeah.
Right. And so everybody's received from a friend a letter that says, hey, we just wanted to give you an update on what the Vi family is doing. This year we traveled to whatever and all that kind of stuff. I think those letters are really cool. Okay. I think they're awesome, and it's a great way of staying in touch with everybody. This letter was almost the opposite of that. Yeah. This letter was, here's how we've done as a company, but through this year, I know that you guys have been through this and this and this and this. And I love that, you know, your spouse or your mom or whoever has been able to participate with us at this level. The letters were just incredible. The retention was incredible. You don't have to go to that extent, but you do have to put some effort in. And my point behind that is, if you activate your RAS so that these things, so that they're important to you, you're going to start seeing more and more of them, and that list on Thursday is just going to fill up. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's just going to be huge. You're going to need a bigger Post-it.
Yeah, you're going to need a bigger boat.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Well, guys, before we close this out, and do you have a Thanksgiving action item for us?
I do. So let me. Okay. So and this is not something that this wasn't put in my pocket for this podcast. This was, I carry this around with me all the time. Mm-hmm. I think I actually have my son getting ready to do this, which would make me just ridiculously proud. But here's what I carry around in my pocket for the people that are watching it. Right?
Is that a picture of Fabio? Yeah, it's a picture
That's
of Fabio.
Guys. Yeah, there's 17 different things on this, and it includes everything from, you know, tell my family I love them, expand my real estate knowledge, offer to help my wife, my son, and my daughter improve my health, meditate, listen to my affirmations, do something joyfully anonymous. There's 17 different things. Yeah. And so today has 2 check marks on it. Yeah. Right?
Is there anything on there about me?
No, there's nothing on here about Ben.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but the
mine just says Matt.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so.
Matt and instill some guilt.
Yeah, man, this is instill guilt in Matt.
Right. But I carry it around. At the end of the day, I don't get all of them done. Right. Right. There's a bunch of days that not everything is on the list, but I carry them around in my bag. Mm-hmm. And at some point early in the day, I pull it out and I start trying to check things off of that list. Yeah. I don't want to miss the important things that are happening. Right. Okay. Absolutely. You know, 2 of the things on there are specifically about Prospect Boomerang.
Of course.
Okay. And so there are things that I want to make sure that happen on a very regular basis. That list helps me keep on top of those. That doesn't mean I don't mean them, because I have to have a reminder for them. Absolutely, I mean them. As a matter of fact, they're so important to me that I'm prioritizing them with making sure I put time into my schedule. Yeah. That's what gratitude is all about, and bottom line, that's what Thanksgiving's all about, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Was that our action item?
It was.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
Make yourself a list.
It's over. Yeah, it's not on my board, but it's on your
board. Yeah. Yeah.
So, guys, I'm not even going to go into the spiel. We love you guys. We're super grateful that you listen. We're so thankful for you, and that you would spend, you know, 25 minutes with us every Monday and Thursday, every Friday rather, every Monday and Friday every single week. I had Thanksgiving in my head.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But you know, we do these podcasts for so many different reasons. And there's just one that sticks out, and you know, we mean it every time we say it, but you know, open your ears and listen to it this time.
We are super thankful for you guys. We appreciate everything that we do. We love being connected with you, and we want to help however we can. And that's ultimately what Ben was saying is why do we do this? Because we truly want to be part of your win.
Absolutely. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving, guys.